Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Portland. We're in the suburb of Fairview in Portland, Oregon. We arrived today. We had an early start. We were on the road by 6:45 a.m. this morning. We got everything as packed up as we could last night. So all we had to do this morning was just get up, get dressed, and unplug, have a quick breakfast, and hit the road. And that's what we did. We were on the road an hour after we woke up, and it was good. We had a good run through to the border patrol, which was just north of Blaine on the Washington 563, 593, 583, something like that. It's not the one that's on the I-5. It was the next one over. And as we're getting there, we said it had a 10-minute wait. Well, we got there at just under an hour after we left the campsite, and we left there 45 minutes later, and it wasn't all wait time. We got there, we got into line, we waited, and then they decided at 8 o'clock to change the guards. So they changed the guards at 8 o'clock. And then we got pulled through and asked if we had any fresh fruits and vegetables. Of course, we admitted that we did. We were completely open with the guy, and we told him that we had avocados. We had an avocado, we had tomatoes, we had eggs, we had cheese, we had milk. And this is what they want to know, what we had bought in Canada. And so we told them everything we did. So they gave us the little form with the agricultural thing circled and told us we had to go park the RV, had to go over to the second inspection area, which we were fine with. We figured that was probably going to happen anyway. And then to go inside. And so then we got over to there, and the guy at the second inspection said where to park the RV and to go inside and stand in the green box. So we go inside, and there's this green outline taped on the floor. We stood there, and someone comes over and says, "Oh, what are you here for?" And we said, "We got told we had to come over here with this piece of paper." And she goes, "But you're not on my computer system." And I said, "Well, the guy out there told us this is where we had to come stand, so here we are." And so she went over all the agricultural stuff, including bringing in pets in and firewood and all this. She was full of information. It was awesome. We got this pamphlet to take with us so that next time we've got numbers on there that we can call ahead. Can we bring this back in? Can we bring that back in? Blah, 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 blah. And then she went out and we filled out the forms in that. She ran us through some questions. She then went out to came out to Sparkles and came back like 5 minutes later with the 2 tomatoes and the 1 avocado we had, and said, "We're going to have to confiscate this is why." And we said, "Totally fine." We figured we were going to get it taken anyway, so it was not a surprise for us. But she says, "Okay, you can take this form, you go around here, go over there and give them the form, and then you can go on your way. Thank you very much." So 45 minutes from when we arrived in line to when we left, which wasn't too bad. And we finally got down, and then we carried on down. We had a couple of breaks along the way. For some reason today I got really tired and really drained, and there were times I just had to take a break because I felt like I was going to fall asleep at the wheel. So we did that, and then Dad found I told him I needed a break, and he found an exit for us to take, which was exit 114 on the I-5 in Washington. And so we took that, and there was a couple of gas stations down there, and there's little cafes and restaurants and stuff. And so we pulled over to the side, pulled into this parking area where we could park, and took up 2 parallel parking spaces. And I said to Mum, I says, "Come on, I'm going to go get you some." I says, "You can go have a cup of tea at this place." And she's like, "I don't want a cup of tea." I says, "Well, maybe they'll have some pie." And you had pie and ice cream. She's like, "Okay." So we went in there and we used their restroom, sat down, and asked them what flavour pies they had. And they had apple pie, peach pie, and marionberry. And we're like, "What's marionberry?" And the woman said, "Well, it's local to this area, and it's kind of a cross between a raspberry and a boysenberry." And we said, "Oh, sounds good." So we each had a piece. They warmed it up. They brought out with ice cream. It was amazing. It was awesome. It was thick. I mean, we're talking a good 4 inches thick, and it had homemade pastry on it, not sheets of pastry that had been bought and made a pie with. It was homemade. It was handmade pastry with a thick filling. It was yum. It was beautiful. It was sort of like, I got to come back and get another one of these at some point. So we took note of the exit number. It was 114 on the I-5 in Washington, and the name of the place was Medicine River Cafe. and we saw people around us ordering burger and fries, because apparently that's what they're known for, is their burger and fries. I was like, screw the burger and fries, just give me the Marionberry. But later on I looked up Marionberry to find out it's considered the Cabernet of boysenberries. I'm like, it certainly did taste good, I can tell you that. But we had a good trip down. Going through Seattle and Tacoma was rough. Roadworks, bad roads. It was shaking and shimmering and thumping and crashing and banging, and this was just driving down the street, and you're hitting hard spots hard, and it was a rough and tumble ride. It really was, through Seattle and Tacoma. But once we got cleared up pretty well. We did have some wind gusts along the way, some areas where they were windy, because you're looking ahead and you're seeing flags waving, you're seeing those big giant American flags, and you're thinking, oh heck, that one's moving quite well, which means I'm going to get buffeted with some wind, and then a truck comes and overtakes you and I get double whammied. So yeah, there was a lot of fighting keeping Sparkles on the road, but we got here around 4:30. We got checked in, and then we realized that we still needed to do some shopping, and about a mile down the road is a Walmart. So it was a super Walmart, and this place was huge. I don't think I've been in a Walmart this big before. It was huge. But we went in there, and I thought, well, while I'm here, I'm going to go to the autos area and I'm going to get something for Sparkles that I had seen in one. I thought, I'm going to wait on that, but I got it. Look at this. This is going to be Sparkles' brand new license plate surround. Isn't that cool? It's Sparkles. It's got Sparkles on it. And I showed it to my mum, and she was like, oh no. And so this is Sparkles' first bit of outside jewellery. They only had one, so I got to get another one to go on the front. That one's going to go on the back. We took off the advertising from the sales yard off, because we had them on the other day. So yes, that's her little bit of bling that she's going to be getting. So super excited to get that put on. I'm not sure if I'll get it on today or tomorrow, because our site is tight. And I will post you pictures later on about our site. When we got here and got into the site, we barely fit lengthwise. There's maybe about this much space at the back between the ladder and the tree. But I'll post you pictures so you can see. Width-wise, plenty of room. The slide-outs are out. The awning is out. We pulled the picnic table underneath the awning. We were just sitting outside, just enjoying the evening. We had dessert out there. Mum picked up this really yummy banana bread when we were in Canada. That didn't get confiscated. No, we got to keep that. And so we were just sitting out there shooting the breeze and just yakking and talking. It was kind of nice. And then we looked at the time and went, oh, gotta go do my live. But yeah, so it was a good run today. It was a long day, a tiring day. I was happy to get here, get set up. But the other thing is that the amenities, the hookups, are about halfway along the site. So my 10-foot long water hose barely reaches the faucet, which happens to be underground. Instead of being on a stand, they have got it buried in the ground, and you've got a cover you lift up, and then you attach it and all that sort of stuff. So Dad got it figured out. But yeah, so it's been a good day. I like the site. They've got these little lampposts at each site, and they're only like probably about 4 feet off the ground, and they've got globes on top, and on the globe they have got written the number of the site, as well as it being on the concrete. They've got it on the site, so later on when it gets a little darker, all the lights will come on and it'll look actually quite pretty. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can hear it or not, we are right up against the road here, and it's kind of busy, so that might get a little noisy for Mum and Dad. I'm down the other end of the RV, so I should be okay, but we'll see. But it is a very nice site here. We're reading some of their stuff, and it sort of said, if your RV is over 15 years old, then you have to get permission from the management. And I'm like, whew, I'm only 13. We're good. But anybody who comes in here has to be a fully equipped RV, fully self-contained RV that comes in here. No tents are allowed. All sites are full hookups. It's actually it's actually a very pretty campground and stuff too, but their length needs to be reconsidered on some of the sites. I mean, we've got a couple of 40 to 45 footers across the way and pull-throughs, and they cannot park their tow vehicles behind or in front of the RV, even if the RV is all the way forward, because there's no space. They are allowed to park them on, they have to park them on the site on the concrete pad. And there's a concrete pad that's next to the actual one that the RV sits on, where you can actually put the picnic table, but you're not allowed to drive on the grass. Because they've got sprinklers on the grass, so no driving on the grass, no parking on the grass. It has to be on the concrete. So there's a concrete pad next to the RV where you can put your picnic table that's under the awning. So we're noticing a lot of cars are parked under the awnings for some of the RVs and stuff. But like I said, our RV barely fits on, and Dad comes up and says, "Okay, you're good." And I said, "Am I off the road?" I said, "I feel like my front end's hanging over the edge of the road." So he backed me up like about another 6 inches. So I'm like probably 2 inches from the edge of the road. It is close. But I'll post pictures on that for you guys to see. Tomorrow for us is going to be, I don't know what day, because we're here for 2 nights. So that's it from us here in Portland. We've had a very adventurous day with wind gusts and buffering by trucks and horrible roads to drive over and a lot of roadworks. Border Patrol was kind of fun. Believe it or not, I actually enjoyed the time in Border Control because I learned a lot. I learned what I can and can't do when I take the RV backwards and forwards across into Canada and stuff, because I plan further trips into Canada in my RV for more tripping around and things. So now I'm a little more aware of what I can and cannot bring. And they even had a whole section, like if you have your pets with you, what the requirements are. If it's not a cat or a dog, you've got to call this particular number and they will tell you what you need to do to be able to bring birds or other exotic pets, whatever that you may have. The guard was really funny when we first got to the Border Control. He asked us if we had any meats like lamb. Was it lamb and goat? I think it's lamb and goat you can't bring in. Even in the pet food, you can't bring in any lamb or goat into the pet. No, it's not goat. Yeah, lamb and goat. You can't bring that in, even in pet food. So we want to make sure you don't have any guinea pig meat. And I said, yeah, no, I don't eat guinea pigs. I said, they're cute and cuddly, but I don't think there's much meat on their bones. He goes, yeah, neither do I. So, we've been really good with the Border Patrol guys that we've had good conversations with them and everything. So it was a good day. We're here. We're set up. Even if we don't do anything tomorrow, we're here. That's it. And then on... God, what is today? Thursday. So we've got the Friday here. Saturday we leave for Phoenix, Oregon, which is just south of Medford in Oregon. So if you can't find Phoenix in Oregon, look for Medford, and it's just south of Medford in Oregon. So it's just north of the California-Oregon state line. So that's where we're heading to on Saturday. But otherwise, we will catch up tomorrow. Let you know what fun and exciting things we get up with. Apparently there's a bus stop not far from here, so who knows what adventures we will have on the buses in Portland. Find out tomorrow. Until then, hei konera. Oh, if you have any suggestions on things to see and do in Portland, drop them in the comments below, and we may even consider them for tomorrow, because we actually have no plans. So until then, hei konera.